Um, I made it through last night. So I made it through last night, and I gotta make it through this night. And I think I can do it. Um, I talked to an artist day before yesterday, or yesterday, and I had a really interesting conversation. Now the thing about the conversation was, it was not as interesting. It would have been more interesting had he known more about sacred text. He didn't know much about. He knew about the Bible, but not about alchemy. So I talked to somebody who knew about the Bible and not about alchemy, which is to say, he's one of those people who ignored Elohim and kept saying God. And that's one of the things that bother me about people in the Bible. Yes, the text has power. So you can say God and the text will still have some sort of power. But to ignore, literally, some really key parts to that, to make it Satanism, is actually a bit outrageous. And so he kept saying, well, things about God. And I just, you know how some people like, they quote God. And then some of the things that people do that bother me is when they have a hard time in the system, they don't revolutionize. Instead, they try to cope with the system, try to do what the system asks them to do. And then when they can do that successfully, they say, well, look at God. And it bothers me that people think God gave them a mortgage and told them to work until they were 65 and then retire so they could actually live life, while some rich asshole is getting luxuries off of them being unhappy for 65 years or 45 years, however long it takes, whenever the person starts working. That's bothersome. And it's also bothersome the level of confidence that they have gained because they spent 4 centuries being evil and setting up an evil system all around the world, and how much subduing people are doing or being, how much subduing they did and how much people are subdued. Um, and it also bothers me too that even though I understand having a lot of materials isn't a terrible thing, but the number of people who still want to, I don't know. People talk about being billionaires, and I'm like, if they knew what them billionaires did to be billionaires. Um, but it was a good conversation because it's the same. And I've had this conversation with many people, so I'm not talking about him specifically. I just talked about him in the beginning, so this is not a commentary on the things he said. But because he said some really good things to me, and so he actually helped me a bunch. So his conversation specifically was great. But I'm saying just in general, um, it's a conversation I've had a bunch with people. But something else happened to me today too. I saw something today that helped me a bit, and it was Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory said, "Those of us who the glasses are put on to see the truth." He said, "The thing about that is that we can't take them off. Once they own us, we can't take them off." And then he say, and then you got to realize he make everybody wear them. And the way I was feeling this morning was like, yeah, because I saw that like sometime in the afternoon, but I was feeling a kind of way this morning, which I still feel. I still feel that way. But when he said that this afternoon, I was like, yeah, I get it now. Even though I've been seeing it, the way he said it made me really see, like, it really lined up with what I was thinking about. He don't make everybody wear those glasses because I'm at a place where if you're not curious, if you're not invested in what's happening, well, let the floods take you. That's where I am. Okay. If you ain't invested, let the floods take. Let the floods take you out. Because now you in our way. Now you in the good people's way. And it's too many kids dying. And too much confidence evil has, killing kids. I mean, unaliving kids. I'm in the YouTube streets. Not the YouTube streets, but I'm in YouTube. But it's too much that evil has, too much confidence evil have in doing the most atrocious evils. Do you know today they tried to curse my legs? So the new curses, and I always see the curses. So they cursed me. At some point years ago too. They couldn't make me move out of my apartment for a long time. But they were cursing my apartment, me living in the apartment because they wanted me to move out of that. They cursed me because they didn't want me to ever be in love. They didn't want me to ever have children again. Those are the curses they put on me. They tried to curse me to be ugly, which is what got my face burned. And now the new curse is they don't want me to ever walk again. So those are the new ones. I mean, that's the new one, the one they did today. But I'm at that place, where if you're not invested, um, that's where I am. That's where I am. And that's what I was feeling this morning as I got up. That's what I was feeling this morning. Like, okay, because it's not right. It's not right for you to walk around and not be, and for children to be unalive, and for evil to have confidence unaliving those children. And evil shouldn't have confidence being pedos and publicly being pedos too. It's no way they should have confidence when their names are publicly being pedos and the victims aren't getting, if the victims ain't getting justice, you know, I feel like if you're not invested in the victims getting justice, then let the floods take you out. If you're not invested in that. That's where I am. Because this just is not right for them to be in this world of people. And something so unjust happens and only be able to rely on a very few people, and then a whole bunch of other people are supporting the evil who is doing that to them and then feeling like they're doing the right thing. It's not fair for you to feel like you're doing the right thing. It's not fair. It's not fair for your children to have anything if it's kids that die and you really walk around supporting evil, feeling like you're doing the right thing. So I feel like that's where I am. If you're not invested in getting justice for the victims, let the floods take you out. So yeah, if I was I'd be cheering for y'all to be gone. Because please take them out because they getting in the way of some very, and I am really, the arc is, something that gets you over. So anytime you think about alchemy, arcs get you over something. I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what they think the Ark of the Covenant is, because they keep saying the people that garden it is going through all kind of problems. You go through problems when you're in the Ark of the Covenant. The covenant is the knowledge. Knowledge is the covenant in the Ark of the Covenant. So those who are not ready for that kind of knowledge are the ones that get taken out. Okay, Tupac got taken out being in the Ark of the Covenant. He had a bunch of knowledge he was being given, but he wasn't ready because both Diddy and Shiz was evil. And so he went from one evil to another evil. And then he said he knew it was evil, but he kept working for it anyway because he didn't want to be broke. And that took him out. And I adore Tupac. He's my favorite. And there's nobody better. So, but so do, I do look forward to seeing Tupac again. Oh, is it going in and out? I do look forward to seeing Tupac again. Reincarnated. Okay, so hopefully y'all heard that. Like I said, and I'm gonna get to where I'm going tonight. So see you later.